I'm Jason Little, and this is 10 minutes off the top of my head. It's Father's Day, and this is the Father's Day edition. Now, in church this morning, I was hoping, they always give you a little gift. I was hoping that we would get fidget spinners. I don't know if you know what that is, but you're about to find out. Unfortunately, they did not give us fidget spinners for Father's Day, but I was glad because we got something better. We got flashlights. And they were the little flashlights, very bright LEDs. They're awesome. But my daughter got me a fidget spinner, and that's what this is. So if you don't know what these are, they're just a little toy that are kind of fun to play with, and they're interesting to play with. But anyway, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, and especially to my dad who watches all of these videos. Happy Father's Day, Dad. Thank you for always being there. And I want to tell you a little bit about my dad. When I was growing up, and everybody has memories of their childhood and growing up, and they look back on their childhood, and a lot of times many of us don't remember the good things as well as we remember the bad things. But I definitely remember the good things growing up. I remember when I was in 7th grade, 8th grade, 10th grade, my dad went to every single one of my football games that I played in, and I started every single year, just so you know. I was pretty good at football. He was there to support me every step of the way, he encouraged me. My dad was definitely one of those dads that did not let me get away with much of anything when I was younger. I remember spending a lot of time talking about my math scores. I remember one time, and I know that you won't believe this because I know that all of you think that I'm, really a good person and pretty much close to perfect, right? Well, I remember one time I got a progress report in math class, and my kids are here, so don't listen to this, son. Just keep your ears closed. Right. I got a progress report in math class, and yeah, I was failing 7th grade math, Mr. Gordon. Mr. Gordon. Anyway, I forged my dad's name. I thought, I looked at his signature and I figured I could do it. I could make it work. Well, apparently I didn't forge it well enough, and I turned it in to Mr. Gordon, and that same night he called my dad and spent, I would say 30, 45 minutes on the phone with my dad. After which I was grounded from the television, I was grounded from the telephone, I was grounded from going outside, I was grounded from breathing, I was grounded from eating, I was grounded from sleeping. In those days, I called it ground damnation. I was under ground damnation, and I was in a lot of trouble, and my grade improved. I think I pulled a B that 6 weeks. But anyway, 7th grade was a tough year, but my dad was always there to make sure to try and encourage me to do the right thing and to get good grades, get better grades, and not to be such a schmuck. Schmuck is an interesting word. It's a Yiddish word, and never mind. Anyway, my dad, my dad was always there for us. And I remember going on trips or going on, he would take me to work with him sometimes or to different meetings and things like that. And I remember one time I went on a trip with him to Los Angeles. I was 15 years old. And we went to Los Angeles. He had to go for business for the day. And we were just there for one day. But that trip has remained in my mind and close to my heart for a long time. It was the first time that I flew in a plane it wasn't the first time I flew in a plane. It was the first time that I remembered flying in a plane where I really could appreciate and enjoy what was happening. I had flown in a plane when I was 9 years old, and before that when I was a baby, which I don't remember at all. But when I was 9 years old, I remember that. But when I was 15 and I flew in the plane, that was awesome. That was a great trip. And we went out to Los Angeles for the day. We went to Venice Beach. We drove around a little bit here and there. We had a rental car, and it was great. It was a wonderful day. And when I got back, my grandparents were here. Anyway, that was a long, long time ago. Or it seems like, well, golly, it's been 30 years ago. So I guess it was a long time ago. How did it get to be 30 years ago? Holy Moses. Anyway, my dad was a great dad growing up. Now, was he a perfect dad? No, he certainly was not a perfect dad. And I don't know that there ever, I know for sure that there never has been a perfect dad. Being a dad is, boy, I hope that doesn't mess up the video. If you don't believe me, just try it sometime. Being a dad is not easy, but I had a good dad growing up, and I'm glad that that he's still there for me when I need him. I talked to him on the phone. He lives up in Lansing, Michigan. I'm down in Houston, Texas. So I talk to him on the phone as often as possible. And usually we have really good conversations. And well, we always do. And I'm glad that he's around to listen to me complain and whine and moan, because I do sometimes. We all do, right? So I've got a dad that'll listen to me and encourage me, and that's important. And that's what I try to be, a dad that listens and encourages. And my dad taught me many things through the years, and I'm glad that I had the dad that I had and wouldn't trade him for all the world. So, Dad, I love you. Thank you for always being there. Thank you for always encouraging me and always putting me on the right track and teaching me to do the right thing. I really appreciate all that you ever did for me, all that you've done, all that you ever did for me. I sound like a hillbilly. That's okay, because that's what my dad is. He's from Kentucky, so it's okay. But I'm so glad that I have the parents that I have, and that my parents are always available and help me even to this day. I love you both, but it's Father's Day, so Mom, you had your day a few weeks ago. Dad, it's your day. God bless you. Thank you so much for all that you've ever done for me, all that you will do in the future. And my dad has promised me that if he ever wins the lottery, that he's going to split it with me 60-40. He's going to give me 60%. He's going to take 40%. And I'm making this public for everybody so that you know, 60-40, because, you know, he's really old, and so he doesn't need it as much as I do because I'm really young. Anyway, that's my time. God bless you. See you on the next video. Love you, Dad.